on July 25th at Waterfront Park. You are away from home a little bit, right? You're in Nashville right now.
Yes. Yes, I'm in Nashville. I'm actually in the middle of recording some new songs. So, yeah, hopefully a new album
Wow.
or new EP coming up soon.
Oh, that's pretty exciting. I've got so many questions to ask you over the next few minutes. And for those that are just tuning in, you can hear this on 102.7 and as well on 99.9. You can watch it right now on our Facebook pages, the WMOM Facebook page, the Hot Country Hits Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and of course, over all the digital platforms that we serve out there. I'm in the Mom FM Hummer, and right outside of West Shore Bank's offices, their downtown location, got the drive-through right behind me. Mark, I think that's kind of a cool backdrop for where we are at. But we are literally, if I were to look out the passenger side window, we
Hmm.
have Waterfront Park right here, so we can walk from West Shore Bank's parking lot to Waterfront Park, where you are going to be playing in
Awesome.
2 Saturdays. Is that cool?
Sounds cool. Yes.
Uh, I
I'm
think it's
excited to see it.
yeah, and you know what? You have some story behind you, including going all the way back into high school, forming a band back in high school. Now you're performing. Could I say all over the country?
All over the country, all over Europe as well. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. All right, Mark Blomsteel is joining us here this morning. We are going to be seeing you July 25th. So let's talk about this. It's West Shore Bank's Rhythm and Dunes concert. It starts. You're going to start on stage at 7 o'clock, but there's all kinds of activities prior to. We've got Mason County Central and Mason County Eastern. They're going to be part of that first night, performing at 6 p.m. right there in front of the stage that you're going to be on. We've got food trucks that are going to open up at 5 o'clock. And Mark, I'm going to tell you right now, do not eat anything all day long. No, I'm not, I don't want to tell you that. But these food trucks, they have some great selections for you
Best
and for
stuff.
everybody
Yeah.
that is cool. And then so at 6 o'clock we have Mason County Central that will be on performing, and starting a band, being in music, performing with your fellow classmates. That goes back a while for you, right? Tell us about that if you don't mind.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things where I was always very into music, and I've literally done everything when it comes to music. I had my own radio show. I worked for MTV. I studied media and entertainment management. So I've done a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it started in high school for me, after always listening to, songs on the radio. I was like, can I sing? Can I play an instrument? And school helped with that. You can try out all the instruments and see, hey, well, this one is something that I want to play and that I'm
Mhm.
good at or I can learn. And I actually started playing the bass
Really?
while I was singing at the same time. So I sang in the school band, and my first ever live performance was actually a song, "One Sweet Day" by Mariah Carey and Boys to Men. So
Really?
I
Okay.
was I was doing the solo in the bridge for Boys to Men. So that was my first experience, which was kind of cool, and it's a timeless song, so I can still enjoy listening to that song for sure. And then soon after that, I realized that it was harder for me to play and sing at the same time, so I kind of gave up on that and started focusing on my vocals.
Hmm. How difficult is that, if you don't mind me asking, trying to balance the instrument and vocals? Where's the challenging part? Is it making sure that you're in sync with yourself or even your band members?
If I knew, I would probably be able to do it
No,
or do a
that's good.
better job at it.
That's
I
awesome.
tried so hard, but for me, it's just like learning the instrument and having to do the singing at the same time. It was just for me, it was
Yeah.
like too hard. And when I was really serious about it, I was already recording in Nashville, where I just worked with my band leader over here, who is Chris Leutchinger. He's the band leader for Garth Brooks as well.
Yeah.
So when you play with people like that, it's really hard to be like, hey, okay, I'm gonna learn this instrument, but
Hmm.
I'm playing with people that are so much better. So
Well,
let me just
and
focus on the
it's
vocal.
Yeah, and it's good to get that advice, right? I mean, you can't get better unless you hear from those individuals, especially the experts, those that are working
Yeah.
with other major industry professionals. If you are just joining us, we're talking with Mark Blomsteel, and you're going to be performing at West Shore Bank's Rhythm and Dunes concert coming up July 25th. You grew up not here in the States. Is that what I hear?
Yeah, I grew up in the Netherlands. Yeah.
Wow. And started the band there. What is I have to say this, I have to ask this, and I know it's probably a question that you've been asked numerous times. Difference between music and playing and performing and all of that compared to here in the US. Would life be different?
Oh, and in the Netherlands, you mean?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
versus here.
it's it's a lot different. In every aspect, music and normal life. We are used to going grocery shopping on our bicycles, go everywhere on public transportation bicycles. That's a big thing where I'm from. The food's different, but the taste in music's different as well, and especially when it comes to country music.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about that is that country music is making huge strides in Europe as it is.
Mm.
We just in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, we had Luke Combs playing the first ever country music stadium live
Wow.
concert. So that's pretty awesome. So we're getting there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting.
I think that's great. 3 years ago, we launched Hot Country Hits 99.9. It was a frequency that had not been built out here in Mason County. And every year since, the listenership nearly doubles and it's increasing. And so you're right,
Yeah.
country music is hot right now. Is that the genre that you feel most comfortable with? Because you do some different genres of music, you do perform across different platforms.
Yeah, we do like the crossover stuff for sure. I mean, for me, the country music love started with the storytelling in the songs.
Hmm.
So that brought me to Nashville. I became the number one singer-songwriter on MySpace, back in the day, and that brought me into a studio with the producer for the Beach Boys. He owns his own studio here in Nashville. So we started working, and the cool thing about that is I used to always bring my music to Europe and started winning CMA awards over in the Netherlands, and so
Okay.
things were going really well. But then I wasn't building on my fan base over here in the US. So eventually I had to make that move. And a few years ago ended up in Michigan and we started a band, Mark Blom's doing a Motor City Drive. So we're
Yeah.
doing my originals, we're doing country favorites, and we're doing some pop favorite. I'm like, my country music is a mixture between rock, pop, R&B, and country.
Wow.
So,
Is it sort of your own signature in the sense, right?
yes, I don't like to be put in a box. That's what I
Okay.
always say. It's like I just want to be able to do my thing and I don't want to sound like everybody or anybody else. So that's very important to me. And I love all kinds of, music. So what we do is we try to have a diverse show. Cool thing about my band as well, we have 4 singers. So we mix it up. Like we have a
Mm.
female singer in the band as well. So the people can expect like Shania Twain songs, or we have Lainey Wilson songs in our set. So and our drummer sounds just like Chris Stapleton. So we have a Chris Stapleton song in our set coming up. So that's the cool part. And you're mentioning other genres. Like for example, my one of my favorite songs to perform is Drops of Jupiter by Train.
Mm. Mhm.
And that was a cool story about that song. It's actually 25 years old this year, that song. And the singer from the band Train saw one of my performances of his song Drops of Jupiter. And then he invited me to one of his shows to meet him and talk and stuff like that. So it was very cool. And I gave him one of my CDs
Mm.
thinking, yeah, he's never going to listen to that,
Yeah.
But 2 days later, he sent me a text message and he was giving me all kinds of like, I love this song and this is
Wow.
my favorite song on your record. And I was like, wow, someone that famous taking that kind of time,
Yeah.
so that I thought was awesome.
That's inspiring to say
Yes,
the least.
for sure.
And where do you see yourself? I've asked other artists this over time, and it's interesting to hear their feedback. where do you see yourself on the ranks of artists? Still up and coming, inspiring others, kind of at the plateau? Where are you at right now?
Oh, I'm always up and coming.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
you the thing is, I come in the same studio and I work with the same engineer, since 2009, so that's been a while. Um, and every time he tells me that my vocals are still getting better every time.
Wow. Oh, that's cool.
So it's one of those
Yeah.
things that if you keep growing and having fun with it, that's the most important thing for me. And I love creating new music and recording new songs. And I hear the difference between my first record and what I'm doing right now, especially vocally. You mature a lot, and you know, I
Mhm.
always say sky's the limit, and when you're having fun, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, that's good.
And that is and, inspiring people is part of that, and
Yeah.
especially, the positivity that that music brings, but also the different emotions are very important to me. I mean, there's a song that I recorded several years ago called "Someone Somewhere Tonight," and
Mm.
I sang it at funerals, and it's been played at several funeral services, and stuff like that makes makes it so worth it all for
Yeah.
me, to have that effect on people's lives. Yeah, that's just so important to me.
Well, it
Like, it
it says
matters.
absolutely, and it says it's nothing that, and nothing against songs that are already out there or written or used over and over and over again. But when you have something that you can write, perform, that you can kind of change those lyrics to something that's real for
Yeah.
you and that connection, I think that's super important. If you
Yeah,
were just
stuff that resonates with people.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely right. If you are just joining us, we're talking with Mark Blomsteel, and right here on Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.9, we are chatting about a little bit of your history and performing. So we went all the way back to school. Now you are to today. You are in Nashville, cutting a new record. It sounds like you've got some new
Yes.
songs. Take us through that. What's happening there?
Well, we started on Monday. So basically, what happens on Monday is always a tracking day. So all the musicians, and we call them A players, A session players, which is basically the best guys in town. They come in, and I wrote 6 songs. And the cool thing about these guys, the band leader charts all the songs so that all the others can read the music. They
Mm.
listen to the demo one time. They go into that room and they all cohesively can play the song. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So they play it like maybe 2 or 3 times through, and then they start, like, nitpicking a little bit. It's like, "Hey, this could be better," or "Let's do this," or "Let's try this out." So, it's the coolest thing to actually be at one of those sessions.
Yeah.
And every time it's magical to me how talented these people are, and I feel blessed that I'm able to record with them, and they're so friendly, so supportive as well, which, and it's a cutthroat industry. But these session guys are just the best.
Does it, when you were mentioning right there at the start of that, where they go into that session, and then they're kind of adjusting your music, though they're kind of nitpicking a little bit, not necessarily in a bad way, but more of in a
Well,
hey, we can improve here. But how does that feel when you're observing that?
Well, I mean, they're nitpicking their own performance. They're not
Okay, yeah,
necessarily my song, because at the end of the day, I'm producing my own record, so I can
sure.
tell them in what direction I want things to go,
Okay,
um, with my co-producer as well.
yeah.
So we know what we want. We know what we're doing. It's just them. They're so perfectionistic. Yeah, it's crazy. One of my guitars can sit there and do his solo over and over and over again, when we already think it's amazing. But, yeah, that's just how they are, and
Yeah.
that shows that they care, and it doesn't matter if they're recording with Garth Brooks or if they're recording with Jason Aldean, you know? That's the cool thing. Jason Aldean recorded all his platinum albums at that same studio. So
Wow.
you walk towards the bathroom and you see these big, posters hanging, or these awards. The last one said 30 number ones.
Mm,
So, I
yeah.
mean, that's inspiring as well, to be able to be in the same studio as where Dolly Parton used to record there, Johnny
Wow.
Cash. So it's just like, it's for me coming from the Netherlands. I mean, I'm the first Dutch artist to come in that place to record.
Yeah. Do you, well, and I have to ask, have you ever bumped elbows with anybody that you kind of lost your speech or kind of was awe about?
I never really lose my speech because I always think that, everyone is equal,
Okay.
they're all just people to me.
Yeah.
And then there's a funny example that one of my session players is also a drummer for the Grand Ole Opry.
Mm.
And I was backstage at the Opry, and I said to him, I said, Eddie, let's take a picture real quick. And I, at the time, was like, he didn't take many selfies or whatever. So I saw Brantley Gilbert,
Mm.
and I said, hey, Brantley, can you take a picture of us? And
Oh,
my
not with
producer
him,
was like,
but
what did you just do?
that's funny.
I was like,
Oh, that's
well,
awesome.
he can take pictures. He's human,
That's
and
right.
he
That's
was totally cool about it. I mean, sometimes
right.
they prefer that. They want to be treated
Yeah.
normally. Like that's how they are. They're normal guys. But that same night, I actually met um, Kevin Costner
Mm.
backstage at the Grand Ole Opry, and that's probably the most famous person I've met. And
Yeah.
he was easy to talk to as well. You just walk up to him and have a conversation. And my producer at the time, who worked with the Beach Boys and met so many famous people, he was in awe. He wanted to take a picture with him. So it's just one of those things. I
Yeah.
just don't get starstruck, but it's kind of, cool to meet the people, and especially if they're genuine and nice people.
Yeah. Well, people are going to be starstruck when they see you performing coming up on July 25th. Looking forward to that. West Shore Banks Rhythm and Dunes concert at, again, 5 o'clock. The food trucks open, 6 o'clock, Mason County Central and Mason County Eastern to perform there. They're going to be raising funds for their bands. What does that mean from an artist standpoint to be playing on stage? Performing at a free concert, but encouraging that audience to drop money in the cooler in the water jugs that they have there, or going to the website and donating. What does that mean for you from an artist standpoint?
I absolutely love it. I mean, to be able to be inspiring to people, and I'm always into stuff like that. I love playing for several charities. We've done it so many times over the years. We've done for veterans. We've done it for autism. I released a music video for suicide prevention, so I'm all for that, and I try to support as many things as I possibly can, to help people. And that's the beauty of music. You can actually do that. And again, you move people with the music, but you have the outreach as well. So, hopefully we can raise a lot of money and inspire more kids to, create more music in the future.
Yeah. Well, even just last year, West Shore Bank and everybody who showed up between the two concert nights, we have July 25th this year and August 1st, but at last
Mhm.
year's two concert nights, over $22,000 was raised. So that says
That's
a lot
awesome.
about, yeah, the community, the performance, and it's just, and I don't know, have you been to Ludington before?
I have, yes.
Okay. And so to be right there along the lake shore, you've got the badger that comes in during the performance. You've got people with their lawn chairs, out there at Waterfront Park. It's a pretty good atmosphere. So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
What before we wrap up, take us through maybe some selections that we're going to be able to hear from you during that night.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you too, like last year, around the same time, we were scheduled to play in a show in Ludington as well. So
Oh,
we
really?
drove all the way over, and then the show got canceled because of, inclement weather. So we're super excited to be able to come back and perform
Yeah.
for y'all. So
This is great. All right.
that's
Make sure the
something
weather
there.
stays away. We will do our part as much as
Yes, you
possible.
never know. It's been a very rainy summer everywhere, it seems like. I've been in
Yeah.
Nashville here now for 4 days, and it's been raining, raining, raining.
Uh,
So hopefully we'll get better. But,
Absolutely.
they can expect a lot of different songs. We play songs from Toby Keith, we play Luke Bryan, we play Jason Aldean, classics, new stuff. Again, we have three other different singers in the band as well. So that just adds to the diversity of our show, which I love, and I think the audience as well. If you listen to one vocal the whole time, or you listen to four different ones, it's a big difference. And then I like to give my fellow band members the spotlight as well. People let people hear what they've got as well.
Mm.
So
And I think that's pretty neat. I looked at some of your YouTube stuff, and you have fun. Everybody has fun on that stage. It's a good atmosphere.
yeah, we try to keep it high energy, and lots of smiles, lots of happiness. We just we love making music, and that's what it's all about, and then creating a good atmosphere with all the people around. So I encourage people to sing along, dance,
Mhm.
and come say hi to us. And we love all that stuff.
Yeah, well, we have a built-in dance floor, and usually it is impossible to move at some points during that part of
Well,
the show where they're singing and dancing. It's great.
I'll try to get myself on that dance floor at some point during the show. I know I usually have wireless microphones, so I love to get into the crowd with my backing vocalist as well. So we love to create a party atmosphere, and just have fun with all the people.
Yeah. Well, I can tell from just our conversation today that you are completely passionate about what you do. And there's no
Sure.
doubt that that is going to resonate through the crowd on July 25th. So it was an honor to chat with you today. And we can't wait to see you in person and enjoy a great night with the West Shore Bank Rhythm and Dunes concert. So thanks for performing and thanks for all that you do.
We're so looking forward to it.
All right, Mark Blomsteel. And if you missed any part of the segment, by the way, you can watch it in its entirety right there on our Facebook pages, WMOM and Hot Country Hits, and our YouTube channel too. They'll be archived there. But get a chance, put it in on sticky note on the refrigerator, put it in your cell phone to be down at Waterfront Park coming up July 25th. Again, food trucks open at 5 p.m. You've got Mason County Central along with Mason County Eastern. They're going to be performing at 6 p.m. For about 45 minutes and then 15 minutes just a get ready for the show. As Mark and the band take the stage, and I'm telling you, Mark, you have a great band, a great sound. That's the cool part about it. And we've been running promos for this almost every hour on the radio stations, and it's nice to be able to talk to you in person. So, looking
Yeah,
forward to meeting you, and you take care of Nashville, and good luck over the next a little bit here, putting that second CD together. Okay.
sounds great. Looking
All
forward to
right.
seeing you.
You got it. It's 102.7 Mom FM and Hot Country Hits 99.